Hello, hello, crafty friends, creative friends, stamping friends, all my friends out there in Facebook land. How are you tonight or today? Whatever time it is, wherever you are. Um, just getting myself going here, and I am, as always, just thrilled to be with you and excited to show a little project that I created with none other than Beauty of the Deep stamp set. I have loved this stamp set since it launched. It was new in the current annual catalog, which went live, in June? May? I don't know, a few months ago. But this was my very first time using it. Okay, pausing to check and see. Okay, looks like we're live. Glad to see that. Would love to hear from you. How's everybody doing? Tell me a story. What's going on in your life? Let's catch up. It's probably been a while, at least a week, right? And so I'm going to create this little card using Beauty of the Deep. And I will start with a white card, like I often do. And you know what? I did something wrong right off the bat. So this is a piece of masking paper. I love the masking paper. It is such a cool thing. It's like a Post-it note, only not as fussy because you don't have to worry about, it coming unstuck. On the other hand, it's very sticky, so you have to be careful with that. Now, I cut it the wrong way, which is why I'm really struggling to get the backing off. Let's see, where's my full sheets of masking paper? Let me show you what it looks like, a full sheet. If I can find it, which I am really struggling right now. What did I do with that? Well, anyway, there's larger sheets. They're designed to go all the way across the card this way. And I think they can even go across this way, maybe. But I cut it the wrong, I was using a piece that I had already used, and I cut it the wrong direction. But that's okay. I'm going to improvise because I do not want to waste this. It is way too valuable. So I'll just find a little spot right here and make sure that I cover this. Now, the other thing I'm going to do, though, before it gets too stuck to the paper, I'm going to peel it off again and stick it down to my pants, because that will help it not be so sticky. Okay, because it's one thing to stick it down to the card, but it's quite another to then, stamp on it or do some ink blending on it, and that makes it even more stuck down. So now you can see, okay, you can clearly see where the masking paper is and where my basic white card is. I'm going to do, you guessed it, some ink blending. I'm going to create the deep, the beauty of the deep right here on this card. And I will do that with just a couple of the stamps that are in the set. This big old coral, and then this one is I don't know, is this seaweed? Do we call this seaweed? That's what it looks like to me. But I've never seen seaweed that's actually stuck to the bottom of the ocean, because I haven't ever been to the bottom of the ocean. And I'm imagining this at the very bottom of the ocean. Oh, it's been a long day today. I'm feeling a little punchy. You probably have noticed. So I'll just stick that right there. That's Versamark. Okay, Versamark is such a cool product. It stays sticky for a really long time. Gives me plenty of time to stamp other things. And that is still going to stay sticky so that when I put my embossing powder on it, there won't be any problems. Let me adjust my lighting, make sure everybody can see what's happening over yonder. What's happening deep down under the ocean. Okay, let's put this, almost dropped it. This one's going to go up towards the top. And then I'll do one more with this, a little bit lower down here to give a different angle. And then finally, I will take this. So look at the stamp set again, now that I've used two of the stamps. And then, let's see. And then you can see all of the other ones too. But I'm going to use this one, just that right there. I thought maybe that would be a nice way to create some sand. And there's extra dies as well. There's tons of accent dies that are there. Now, the hard thing with this is that you can't really see where this is going. So I'm just going to kind of like throw it on here in a kind of all over pattern, as you can see, and then just hope it kind of looks like, I don't know, sand or something at the bottom of the sea. Now I can kind of angle this and with the light and kind of see that it's it looks okay. All right, so I've got my clear embossing powder. You really, on a white card, you could do this with white too, if that's all you have. And I'll just sprinkle that across. I was thinking today when I was just walking around at work thinking about this video, I was like, one thing that's kind of interesting is I used to really consider watercoloring my favorite technique, and I think that might now be owned, my favorite technique might now be owned by ink blending. They're both awesome. I love them both. I just do ink blending so much more, I find, lately. So do you guys agree with that? What's your favorite technique? I'd love to hear from some others what you guys like doing as far as stamping techniques. Okay, I'm not sure if you can still hear me, but we got to cook this. Just making sure that it goes shiny. And then I'll be able to ink blend over the top of it. So my heat tool is warming up while I'm waiting. And while you are telling me in the comments your favorite techniques. Maybe not your favorite. You know, sometimes it's really hard to commit to a favorite, right? Because then we feel like we're being disloyal to all the other techniques. So instead you could tell me a few favorites, things that you're really using a lot these days in your creations. Okay, we're getting close here. Almost everything is now shiny. Need to really make sure. All right. Now, thanks for your patience on this. I know it just still looks like a white card to you. So you've been very patient watching so far. But the reason why I did that was because I wanted you to see like where I was stamping and how long you can stamp and not worry about the Versamark drying up or anything. Okay, here's my color scheme. Ink blending, I have found the more... Not that one. Take that one out. That one's to be used later. The more colors you do, the better. And sometimes you can't even see where one color ends and the other one begins. And it doesn't matter because it just looks amazing. And another thing, I've said this before, and I'll say it again. I didn't wash my brush out, so you can see it's like blue already, but there's not a lot of ink left on it. So I'll just rub it here and get rid of some of it. Let's see, what was I going to say? Oh, if you, like, once you get done with your ink blending, it's typically still a little bit splotchy. And that's okay. You just need to walk away and look at it the next day or in a few hours because the ink literally just kind of like melts into the paper and, oh, it's just always so beautiful. Like, sometimes I walk away and I'm like, that was dumb. That's ugly. It's not going to work. And then I come back and I'm like, it's amazing. So as always, you kind of dot your blending brush over to the side. And with this Coastal Cabana, I'm really going to focus on the top up here because when I've seen pictures of like from the bottom of the ocean, it's lightest at the top because that's closest to the sun. So that's what I'm doing here. Okay, I can see some of my blue is coming through from before, and that's okay. I think it, as I said, it always looks good. This is the technique that you really can't mess up unless you use, you know what, the one thing you can do that will really mess this up is using complementary colors. And I was also thinking about that today because I was like, okay, what color do I want to make the fish that I put on this? Oh, I made them one color when I did my practice card, but I was thinking, you know, I should do a different color this time. And then I was thinking through, well, what are the best colors? How do I make these fish really stand out on this in the deep, in the ocean. And I thought, well, if it's blue and blue-green, then my fish need to be like orange and orange-red. And so that's the law of complementary colors. And if you don't know about that, go Google a color wheel and look at the colors that are opposite of each other on the color wheel. So yellow is opposite of purple, and orange is opposite of blue, and red and green are the main ones. But then all of those have like their tertiary colors in there that have opposites too. Okay, so I'm talking a lot and not doing enough blending. Let's focus here and get this done. Let's see, I'm going to do a little bit more. This one, what was this one? Boho Blue. Oh, and watch that coral pop out of the white card. It's just so cool. Okay, there's an example of what I'm talking about. It looks like a big old splotch, but tomorrow it will kind of sink in and it won't look like that. But if you're worried about that, you can always just add a little more color. Like I just like to keep going and just really make these colors awesome and vibrant so that they just look really rich. And there are like some extra specks right there that I wasn't planning on. And it looks cool. I like that. So I'm going to leave it. Okay. Going back to Coastal Cabana now to add a little bit more across the top because I can see more of the card through there as I'm going. And so I want to make sure that that's really covered up. Okay, that's looking cool. Is that looking like an ocean? This is kind of a lighter spot over here, but maybe somebody has a flashlight over here. I don't know. Okay, now let's move on to Azure Afternoon and cover the rest of it. Ooh, that looks so cool. I love this color. And arguably, like I think these labels can kind of be deceiving because Boho Blue clearly looks lighter than Azure Afternoon. But as I'm putting them on here, it might be the intensity that I put the color on there, but like Boho Blue is kind of looking darker right there. But again, that's okay. Like it's just a big, there's all different colors and movement under the surface. Okay, finally, a little bit of blueberry bushel. And I'm going to just do this right along the bottom. Whew, got a little carried away on that one. But again, probably won't matter. It'll just look awesome. Well, now I realize that I forgot a tissue. So how are we going to rub this off? I might have to do it with my pants, which is fine because they're navy blue. Should we see? Okay, I'm going to grab the corner of my pants and rub this off. Because you know what? I've had more than one accident with ink, what do you call them? Ink re-inkers. I've had more than one accident. It always comes out of clothes, so this is not a problem. This is just another crafting tool right there. Beautiful. Oh, I love it. Okay, I'm going to stop. It's looking amazing. Of course, you have to really fight the desire to keep going, and because you might make it different, but you might not make it better if it already looks awesome. Let's peel this away and see how it looks. So of course you could add layers to the card, but I like really just using the masking paper to create a really solid line like that. It just kind of adds something cool where you haven't added another layer. Like, oh, you just did all of that on one card. That's impressive. Okay, so there's that. Now we need a greeting. And Beauty of the Deep, we'll look at it one more time. This doesn't have any words in it, so I'm free to pull in whatever stamp set I want, or I have to pull in another stamp set. So I pulled in from Timeless Arrangements, Thank You, and then Very Much. So let's see, put that aside. I really should put my lid on my embossing powder before I have a total issue. So let's just take a second to do that. And now for our greeting, and I'll do that with Blueberry Bushel. So what I like about this greeting is that it's two-step. So we can put the thank you on top of the water. And I want it to just kind of be sitting right on there. So let's see if I can get that lined up. The camera is right where I want to look. Oh my word. Perfection! I should always do this with a camera. And then very much, we'll kind of like let it peek out to the side over there so it sticks up above the surface. Kind of moved that a little bit. Oh, looks great. Amazing. So happy right now. This looks quite different from my other one. Well, it's really similar, but I'll show you that one in a minute so you can see what I'm talking about. Okay, last step. We need to bring in our fish, and I just dropped one, so hold on. I die cut these out before, which I probably wouldn't do if I weren't doing a live video, but I thought there was no point in doing that beforehand because I also forgot that my stamps were were red rubber, not photopolymer. But anyway, it is what it is at this point, and I'm going to do my best here to see what happens. So let's see, I'm going to use my memento and do this one first. Let's see if I can again get that right there in the middle. It's right in the middle, so fingers crossed, you guys. There's only one shot. Not too bad. Could be better, but that'll do for now to let you get the idea. This one also right in the middle. So let's see how it goes. Oh, I don't think I did as well on that one, but that's okay. Oh, I didn't want to do that one black. Well, shoot. See, I wanted to do that one. Where's my Flirty Flamingo? So I'll just do over the top. No worries, my friends. See, this might even look better once we come back over here with... Well, that's interesting. I got it in almost the exact same spot. Too funny. Where is my other one? Okay, now for this one, I actually wanted to make this one yellow and black. I couldn't find a yellow marker or a yellow Stampin' Blend. Not one that's for sale anymore anywhere. So we're going to do it instead pumpkin pie, because if we want to get the complementary color of blue, that actually is pumpkin pie. So I am just going to color in the whole body of this fish, because even the parts that I've stamped that are the parts that are black and shaded black, they're shaded, so it shows through. Looks cool. Okay, not the most artistic part of the card right there, that's for sure. This one, I kind of feel like I should just put the whole thing in the ink pad. Let's see what happens there. There you go. At least you'll get the idea. You know, I mean, you never know what's going to happen here in Stampin' Shenanigans. Lots of Stampin' Mischief, that's for sure. That's what you're experiencing. So let's put these on the card. And to be honest, I'd probably redo them before I sent them out to anybody. But this will at least give you the idea of what's happening over here. And then I'll show you my first one that I made so you can compare and contrast. So we can kind of set this little guy over here in the seaweed. He's just kind of swimming through there, trying to find his way. And this one right here, ooh, that's still quite, I've got a lot of ink on there. Accomplished my goal that time. So you can see what I'm talking about with the complementary colors. They're exactly opposite of each other on the color wheel. Poof, it just pops right off the page like that. Final step, let's get us some of these incredible iridescent rhinestones, which are perfect for things happening under the sea because they take on the color of whatever they're going on top of. So they just look awesome. And maybe one more down here. And that is it. How beautiful is that? So fun. Here's the one that I did beforehand when I was practicing. So maybe now you can see what I'm talking about. I'm not even sure if you can see it, but I can see the difference between this one here and this one. Well, I think the bottom section, I got a little darker on this one, and that will remain even when this one gets dry and settles into the cardstock. But this one, the water is just so much more smooth than this one. It's a little bit more splotchy. So as I give it a couple of hours, it will really settle in and look amazing. I mean, it looks amazing already, but I'm just pointing out the thing that actually happens whenever you do ink blending. So that's it. Thanks so much for being with me today. Oh, I was going to make sure. Well, there's like 3 more days left to vote. Let me show you my card from the Great American Stampin' Show. This was our 3rd round, and this was my card that I did with Softly Sketched stamp set. That was so fun. There were 3 images in that stamp set. So there's a cotton blossom, this one, and then like a rose with a butterfly on it. And I was like so anxious about that. I'm like, what if we all choose the same image? Or what if we don't do every image? I really want to, and I was so happy that it worked out. So I did the grapes. Julie did, Julie did the cotton, and Brandy and Jody showed how to use the rose image. It was so cool. Everybody did something completely different. And I believe you'll probably learn a lot of really cool Stampin' techniques if you go and watch those videos. And of course, vote for me and for any other videos that you like. I'm not in first place right now. So it would be so awesome if you'd head on over to YouTube and watch. I see there's like 23 of you right now watching live. If you can head on over to YouTube, then go vote for that. And if you're seeing this in YouTube, because I'm going to upload it to that later, find those posts and vote for them. That happens every other Thursday at 5 p.m. Mountain Time. And just love entertaining you and sharing stamping with you and hearing from you about your Stampin' likes and dislikes and all that stuff. Okay, that's it. Thanks so much. Hope you have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.